So they do all this. They cast doubt in your mind. You see, they cast this idea into a chat box. Or they make books. One book, for example, that's been a very successful book around the world, and a lot of really good, nice people, in my opinion, don't realize they've been duped by it. The book was called The Secret. It goes like this. The Secret convinces you can manifest things in your life just by the power of positive thinking. So you're driving into a city, perhaps, and you decide, I'm going to manifest myself a parking space. Why? Because I've got this power of manifestation. I understand how the universe works. I know the power of attraction. It's all been explained to me, and I get it because I'm special. No, you're not. None of us are special, folks. We're all pretty much the same. Unique and special to ourselves and our family and our loved ones, but pretty much we're all pretty much the same, right? More or less. We all want the same things. So you've been convinced. You've been convicted. You now are a convict. You've been convinced that this book, The Secret, for example, has told you that you now possess this power of manifestation. And guess what? You head into the city centre and you're there manifesting yourself a car park. And guess what? There's a car parking space. You drive straight in. You think, hey, this stuff is good. Look, it works. Well, congratulations. You've just received positive affirmation. That's your first one. You now think this stuff is dandy. So you go working on something else. So let's say you think, well, I'm going to drive home now and I want my dinner to be on the table the minute I walk in the door, so I'm going to manifest that. I'm going to make that happen. Lo and behold, you walk in the door and your missus, perhaps, or your husband, depending, puts the dinner down in front of you. And you tell them how wonderful this is. Oh my God, you've got to try this, you've got to try this. Hey, let's do it for wealth. Let's attract money. Let's attract a good business. Now you see, what you don't realize is that up to the point where you read this book, these things happened every day. We have a word for it. It's called coincidence, happenstance. Stuff happens, right? Do you really think you have the power to control the universe? To get the whole entire universe to focus just on you so you get a parking space at the particular moment when you think you've manifested it? I'm not trying to knock you, folks, but come on. That's stupid, right? That meets the definition of stupidity. It's a great way of separating you from a few quid. It's a great way of making business. Convince people that they too can manifest using the methodology of witchcraft. And it's bull, in my opinion. Okay, so now see, I'm Just Me has just put there, we wanted to buy a strip of land at the side of our house for 15 years. We watched The Secret and did our visualizations and picture board thing, and within 2 weeks the landowner approached me and offered free use of the land. We've had it for 4 years. Fine. But just because you did those exercises doesn't mean that wasn't going to happen anyway, right? So you see, even if that was going to happen anyway, well, you'd just put it down to just ordinary everyday happenstance, right? The fact that you've read the book, you're associating what that man did with your intentions and this idea of manifesting. When in reality, there is no connection between the two. If there is a connection, it's because that was the plan of the universe. The universe was going to go that way. Things were going to happen that way regardless. If you think you can actually do it, well, let me see you manifest something from fresh air, something tangible. It can't be done. Try and manifest 10 things a day for 10 days. Take note, careful note, on how many of them come true. Let's do a out of 100 percentage. Let's do a score. Let's do a hit rate. Let's do a scientific experiment. A double-blind test. Because I guarantee you, if you perform a double-blind scientific test on that, it'll turn out to be a bull. Just like most ESP. Some ESP, folks, it's interesting. But pretty much most of the double-blind tests show Now, I realize this might not be a popular thing to be saying to you guys, but I think you should really question this. This idea that you can change the universe and just by thinking about it. You see, what I'm here to tell you is, as far as I'm concerned, if I want to manifest myself a table and chairs, I gotta stand up, go out, get the wood, get my tools, get into my workshop, and make the flippin' thing. That's the way the universe works. That's how I manifest things. I have to build them and make them. Manifesting is what the quartz system do. They manifest by putting down hieroglyphics, designs, ink on paper, and sending it to you, and lo and behold, you appear before them. Magic. Just like magic, you appear. That's why they say, oh, I see you now, or I can't see you now. When they say they can't see you, they mean they cannot see you. As I said, look, I understand that some people might find this, maybe even a little bit upsetting. Hey, that's okay. But I think you should really think it through, because these techniques, that book, The Secret, I believe it was put out there on purpose to manipulate the population who haven't fully woken up, to manipulate them into thinking they can do all these things. Now, you see, if you think you can do all these things, let's say the cops have decided to kick in your door or put you in prison, can you manifest your freedom by all this positive thinking? If that's how you feel about it, well then, why listen to people discuss all these other ways of dealing with things? I mean, let's see how many copies of The Secret have been sold. All those people how many of those people are going to end up in court? Let's see them manifest their way out of it with positive thinking. It ain't going to happen. They're going to get fined, etc., etc. Now, Ray, I love Ray Moore, folks. He's a great mate of mine. I really do like the guy. Now, Ray thinks the attraction works from the soul. Look, perhaps there is something to it. But perhaps it's only something to attract the one you're supposed to be with. But let's face it, for all we know, maybe that's already preordained, or maybe the universe was going to work that way anyway. You see, it's entirely possible we don't have free will. We've been told we have free will. Many of us believe we have free will, but yet most of us don't operate according to free will. You see, I think Ray mentions the ego there. You see, I think The Secret attracts your ego. It gets you to believe that somehow you're special, you see. It gives you a little ego lift. It gives you a little ego boost. Ooh, look, I'm special. I can manifest. That's an ego boost, folks. No other way of looking at it. Not that I see. If you see another way of looking at this, fine. And if you want to come on and discuss it with me, hey, that's fine too. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying it is bullshit. I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, and when I try to apply logic and reason to it, doesn't make sense to me. Maybe if it does for you, wonderful. But what I am definitely telling you is that the court system, the government, the politicians, they're all using that. They all use this magic to affect their changes. Think about how they affect change. How do they manifest something? Well, 10 newsreaders in a row come along and say, oh yeah, looks like Obama's going to be elected. Even if Obama was a million miles behind in the polls. Suddenly, hey, 10 guys have said it on television. The power of manifestation. No. It's because they said it on television, because people are fucking gullible, and people think, oh shit, looks like Obama's going to get in anyway. Oh, well, I was going to vote for the other guy, but what the hell? I mean, I don't really care too much. It looks like Obama's getting in. Well, sir, what's the point in voting for the other guy? If Obama's getting in, I may as well vote for him. And they know that happens. Okay, look, I'm here, folks. If you want to join on and give me a call, if you want to have a little chin wag about something, even if you want to just tell me I'm talking shit, that's okay too. I can cope. I'm going to play another little tune now, and I haven't played them in a while. And welcome back to TNS Radio.ning.com. The time is now 22:26 apparently, and 1st of the 5th, 2011 AD. And I think, is that the one? No, sorry, pardon me. Soul Kid made a comment there in the chat box. Music is manifestation. Well, I responded back saying, not unless you pick up the instrument and put your energy, as in your physical energy, into it, though. And Soul Kid said, it comes to mind first, though. Now, that's entirely true, and I agree with that completely. And you see, that's the thing I'm trying to get across to you. You see, you can manifest. In your mind, you can manifest. But if you, like, hey, if I want to manifest a table and chairs, I got to do it in my mind first. But to end up with the actual table and chairs, then I got to go chop down wood, right? They use the same process. I mean, I'm not knocking this, fellas. I'm not, I'm just saying, well, I probably am a bit. But I'm not really trying to, I'm not trying to upset anybody here. What I'm trying to say to you is draw the similarity between this idea of manifestation. They're trying to sell it to you. Well, they have sold it to you by the million, right? In books, videos, yada, yada, yada. We'd love it to be true, you see. I'd love it to be true. Shit, if I thought I could just manifest a better world without actually going out there and doing it, I'd sit at home and become like a Buddhist monk or whatever, and meditate on it for years on end. And that would be wonderful, right? If we all could do that and manifest a better world that way. It's not going to happen, folks. We have to actually get up off our arses and make a better world. We got to make it. We've got to do it. But yes, the music might come to your mind first. The idea will come to your mind first. But who's to say where the idea came from? I mean, when Einstein thought up E equals to MC squared, did the idea just arrive in his mind? Did he actually use logic, reason, and intellect to plow through all these notions and ideas and to associate things and to place things together and to see if they compare? I mean, Robert Anton Wilson, as a lot of people have read as well. I know he comes up with a lot of this stuff too, and he talks about, as Manet said there, meditation equals sitting around waiting for good luck. Well, I kind of agree with that one. Happenstance, good fortune, good luck, call it whatever you will. I mean, it's like, what was the line I heard once? It's bad luck to be superstitious. Right? Maybe. Because if you are superstitious, or if you adopt a superstition unto yourself, if you convince yourself walking under a ladder is bad luck, well, one day maybe you'll walk under a ladder, something bad will happen, and you'll say, see? You've just had a positive affirmation. Walking under ladders is bad luck. Well, you could look at that another way, right? Walking under ladders is incredibly stupid, because usually there's going to be some dude at the top of the ladder working. If you walk under the ladder, you might distract him. He might drop something on you, spill water, paint, drop a hammer on your head, etc., etc. You're putting yourself potentially in harm's way. So it's not bad luck to walk under a ladder. It's stupid. Mostly. Unless you've checked and you say, well, there's nobody up there. Fine. Is it bad luck to walk under a ladder when there's nobody there? Who knows? Right? Has there ever been a scientific examination, or has anybody ever tested that theory?